Hi, I'm Jay Cray, and today on Over the Boards, we're joined by Shaun Richard, Associate Director of Athletics for Sports Administration at The Ohio State University, to talk about his role with the team.
Joining us in studio today is Shaun Richard, Associate Athletic Director, and he oversees in his position men's hockey. And Shaun, just for our listeners tuning in, if you could just maybe give a brief rundown of what your responsibilities are with the hockey team, maybe kind of what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. First off, I want to thank you guys for having me and being part of the show and what you're doing with this podcast. So I appreciate that and what you're doing for hockey and just in general with this type of thing. So, yeah, good question. And I get it all the time. And it's probably one of the hardest questions I think I ever have to answer. What do you do? So, but for me, in my day to day responsibilities, like you said, I'm associate athletic director and I oversee 5 sports here at Ohio State, one of them being men's hockey. And what that means is I really work with our coaches on a day to day basis to make sure they have what they need on the ice and our student athletes have what they need in the classroom to be successful and then just in the community. So again, we're going through a lot of policy and procedures and make sure we're, doing things right compliance wise, make sure our guys have what they need class wise to be successful and that type of stuff. So, it's not really a day to day operation in terms of I'm not there every day. The guys don't see me every day. I don't see the coaches every day. We may talk on the phone once a week, once a day if needed. But again, I have that presence where, I'm a guy that, continually has the 5 sports that I work with. And again, like I said, one of them being men's hockey on my mind at all times. Every decision I make really kind of involves all of our student athletes, but really how does it focus on what type of decision am I going to make that and how will it affect hockey? So that's kind of a little bit of a basic overview of what that means, but it's always the hardest question I get is, what do you do?
Since you've started your job here at Ohio State, how have you seen the team grow, and how do you think that your job that you just described has helped sort of bring in the success that we've been having the past 2 years, and for the men's hockey team specifically?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll tell you one thing: I'm not a coach, so I'm definitely not helping them with the X and O's. But for me, it's just watching the growth the last couple of years. I mean, I've been here. This is my 5th season with this program. And interestingly, when I first got here, my first season was the first year of the Big Ten hockey, and we made it to the Big Ten championship game. So again, we've had success all every year since I've been here. So I wouldn't say it's anything that I'm doing special. It's really a tribute to our coaches and then the guys in the locker room. So again, I think the nice part of the coaching staff that we have had in the last couple of years, we've had some coaching changeovers and have gone on to different places. They've done in their recruiting styles and the type of kids they've brought in to our current staff. And again, I think then it just and you guys I know have interviewed our guys, and it just comes down to buy-in. And the culture in the locker room is fantastic, and I get to see that. That's the nice part of my job is I get to be in that culture and live that culture and see the things that they bring to that locker room. And I'll tell you, that's a lot of it. We may not have the first round draft picks that some of the other programs have, or I think we have 3 or 4 guys on our team that actually are drafted. Compared to we just played that team up north last couple weekends ago, and I think they had 8 or 9 guys drafted. So again, it's not always that draft status that's going to make you the best team in the league. It's how are you going to play as a unit and as a locker room. Can you buy into that culture? Can you buy into what your coaches are selling? And it's nice. Our coaches are selling something that our guys are buying into. So all the credit in the world to our coaching staff. They put a plan in place. Our guys are living up to that. And again, a lot of them are going on to the hard work is actually paying off, which is nice.
You talked a lot about culture and how the coaching staff's creating it. I would say Coach Rollick's a pretty reserved guy publicly, like media
Sure.
interviews, but clearly he's got his players to buy in and they love him. So I'm wondering if you could speak a little bit to the kind of guy he is and how he has instituted that culture, because I think sometimes publicly he's really good at, giving a good answer, but maybe you don't get a lot of the personality from him.
Sure. Yeah, it's funny because he's not a very animated guy, and but I love that about him. He is that guy that's going to be on the line at all times, whether things are going really really well. You probably won't be able to tell if you don't know what's going on around. If things are not going really well, you're not going to be able to tell. and our guys buy into that as well. Where, all right, well, hey, we got beat by Michigan State on Saturday night. That's all right. We're going to play the number one team in the country. We're right back here. We're even keeled. We're going to make sure that we do our job. We go out on the ice. We're going to practice Monday through Thursday, have great practice, work hard, and then we're going to get on the ice. So I love Coach Rollick. He's fantastic. You know, if you ever get a chance to go watch practice and you watch Coach Miller, they call him Killer. He's fantastic. He's the animated person in that coaching staff. And then Coach Bittner is just that even keel players guy. He was a guy that sat in that locker room. He was a former player for us at Ohio State. You know, you always talk about a Fortune 500 company, and you can't have all the same people in the same positions. You got to have the different personalities and, you know, the different traits. The staff we have right now are all very different, and that's what works. And it's led by Coach Rollick, who, you know, he sets the culture and sets the vision, and you get guys that follow him. So he's super reserved, but, you know, and I follow a lot of the media stuff that he does, and it's so true. He's all about family and 100% all about our players, what's best for them.